Well, hello, everyone. I just want to thank you for being here and sharing some time with us. I have a phenomenal, wonderful artistic genius here before us. This is a real treat because we're talking about the phenomenal Karen Bankhead, and there's so many credits. It's amazing about her longevity in the entertainment industry. She's played the wacky receptionist in the ABC series New Attitude, the nerd Adrienne in Boston Common, and she's also played Denise Pendergrass in Curb Your Enthusiasm. But I know her best as the elderly Etta Mae Mumphries, also known as the Black Forrest Gump. I love it. Thank you for being here. I just want to give you a standing ovation.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank
Karen,
you
for
for
being here.
having me. And it's a pleasure to be with such a esteemed lady as yourself with all that you have going on as well. So thank you.
Oh, I so appreciate that. I was doing a little bit of homework. I understand that you grew up in an Air Force family, and I want to know, when did the acting bug bite you? Were you little or were you older when this happened?
Yeah, I have to give credit to my parents who, like, when we went out to play, they let us play. It was like free for all. You get dirty, roll in the blood, whatever. And my sister, we were like a team. We would watch all those great sitcoms from the back in the day, and then as soon as they were over, we'd reenact them and pick who. We'd be like, I'm her, whoever, Marsha Brady, Jan, the Partridge Family. I'm dating myself, but we would always reenact the shows. I remember when we were on the Air Force Base in Arizona, we would have talent shows in the background and stand up on garbage cans or whatever we could find. Like the Laugh-In used to have little podiums. We'd do that kind of stuff. And so it was always just what we loved to do. And I remember, I think I was in fifth grade, and they offered us electives. Like, they had all these things like woodworking and art and ceramics and swimming. And the one thing you had, from 1 to 10, make a choice. And I was like, number one is acting for me. And that's when I kind of realized that's my favorite thing to do.
So
So
you were 10 years old when you pretty much realized, hey, this is something that I want to follow. This is a passion that I want to pursue.
yeah, I think it was just by default. And I always, whenever like Girl Scouts, whenever I wrote a play for myself where I was performing, I changed it from Cinderella to Scouterella. And I wrote the whole thing, and I got to be Scouterella and made it all about, her wanting to be a Girl Scout instead of wanting to go to the ball, whatever. And then even when I finished at UCLA and I had a degree in psychology, and I'll never forget, there was a job fair, and everyone was getting their resumes together, and I had a briefcase and a suit on and walking around and trying to figure out, who do I want to try to attach myself to. And there was really nothing. But acting was something I was already doing. I was taking acting classes at night, and it was just like, that is what I know is in my heart to do. So I just started from there and never really walked away from it completely. So
What was your, I'm thinking about your parents' reaction when you said, I have a degree from UCLA in psychology, but I want to be an actress.
It's funny because I had a very definitive, concrete conversation with my dad. They were very, most parents, they're kind of like, follow your dreams, but, keep your day job. And I always had a day job, which was the thing. And I was also on a lot of game shows. So that time I love game shows. And so I was like, there was a little bit of income that I would make from doing stuff like that. But I told my dad I was kind of set on going to law school. And then I said, you know what, give me 2 years. And if it doesn't really jump off by then, I will go to law school. And within the 2 years, I had that first series that I got to do on ABC came through. And as it were, my dad actually passed away before that even came on the air. So he didn't get to see that happen. And then as it were, that show didn't last very long. So I kind of got a realization of how fickle the business is. It's like, oh, I'm a series regular, and all of a sudden now I'm back to unemployed and hustling again. So but I decided I don't really want to go to law school anyway, which I think was a better decision. And it's never too late. I could still do that. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So Boy, when you talk about the entertainment industry and you said it was a little bit fickle, how do you explain your longevity or anybody's longevity in the entertainment industry?
Well, I think actors and artists, whether you're dancing or, songwriters, they're very adept at, kind of trying to find a source of income, whether it's, waiters, the pandemic has changed a lot of things for everybody, but, being able to work like a night shift or substitute teaching or Uber driving. I think artists teaching, tutoring, whatever, those are all the things that artists kind of find a way to live frugally and then have like enough money to survive. And then when the gigs come in, it's a bonus. And then if you get on a roll, which not all of us do, some people are always gigging. They never get a chance to really quit the day job because that big payday, it's rare. And it's almost like sitting at a gambling table and, not everybody hits the jackpot, or even if you do, it's not a big enough jackpot to retire, So I think longevity is kind of finding your sweet spot, what works for you. I think the pandemic has been a wake-up call, or also a blessing for a lot of people that for actors that do stuff like, voiceovers, commercials, book narrating, teaching, for comedians being able to go. I had already started doing more stuff online, and I prefer it actually because of, I have my mom and my mother-in-law that I need to be around to take care of. So being able to do stuff like the event that we did together, on Zoom is really a blessing. So I think longevity is, you do have to have a plan. There's some serendipity involved because I know a lot of really talented people who don't ever get that big gig, like a TV series that lasts more than one season or something, or a big commercial that's going to pay off for 2 or 3 years or something like that. Or, a big role in a movie that kind of gets you a name or whatever. So I think longevity is, you do have to keep at it. You have to have the right attitude. I'm like a big achiever. So for me, for a long time, it was like, oh, I didn't get that role, I'm failed. But it's like, you can't look at it like that. I had a really great acting teacher, David Dean Botrell, who said, when you go on auditions, you kind of feel like it's just a chance to act for, 5 minutes on a Tuesday afternoon. And you can't really look at the outcome, like, because 99 times out of 100, you're not going to get that gig. So longevity is a little bit of a mind thing and also a practical thing.
Yes, yes. It seems like you have built a lot of resilience in the whole process. That's fantastic. And it does take that, because I think, eventually somebody's number does come up, usually, not always. And
Right.
but you got to hang in there in order to experience the windfall. So I wanted to know a little bit about what was your most memorable role that you've played? Which role that you just love the most,
Oh, God.
and why?
I think, I guess I'll have to say, when I did The Parkers, which was a show on, I think UPN, and I played this crazy lady. And now that it's on Netflix, and I think it's on a lot of, in syndication everywhere, and I get a lot of people just love that role. And I think because it's like this crazy woman who, it was called Single Black Female, and Stacey Evans Morgan and Sarah Finney, they wrote this, and they wrote this wonderful script for this woman who was just like a crazy woman who, on the Parkers, she wanted to take over Nikki Parker's life, and she did all these nefarious things, and there was so much physical comedy. Everybody on that cast, Dorian Wilson, I love working with him, and Monique, and everybody, it was just a great opportunity for me as a guest star to just go for it. And Cheryl Lee Ralph was the director, and I had worked with her on the first series that I did, and I think it was her first directing time. So the producers, everybody, it was a fun episode. It's very memorable. I remember when I went into audition, there was some really great actors that we were all up for the same. It was such a great part, and the fact that I got it was just remarkable for me, and the fact that it just got better and better as we rehearsed it through the week. And then the fact that it still has legs, that people to this day, they're like, "You're crazy, Elaine," So that was a really great one-time role that I got to play. And I'm working on a project right now that's for, me being able to do comedy. And it's like, there's not a lot of opportunities for particularly Black women to just be like, Lucille Ball or Carol Burnett and just really do that crazy sketch comedy stuff that a lot of people know how to do, but there's not a lot of opportunities. So that's definitely one of my favorite roles.
So would you say that you specialize in comedy? Is that what you prefer when you're acting?
Yes, I have to say, when I first started out, I was doing Shakespeare and dramatic monologues and stuff, but I always found, I guess, a sweet spot for doing the comedy, and I had more success. I would try to like audition for Star Trek or like a medical show and say, yes, doctor, we have a blah, blah, blah. And I could never really sound convincing, I guess. Rarely would I get cast in those kind of roles, but sitcoms, because that's what I loved growing up, watching it. And then I studied with Second City and also the Groundlings, which teaches you a lot about improv comedy and how to just find the funny, let go. I think it's a great exercise for any actor to do improv comedy, because you become kind of fearless and you really want to just serve the comedy, whatever it takes to make it funny or funnier. You're down for it. So I love it. Everybody loves to laugh. So. And then, I come from a family. My mom and dad were just really lighthearted people. So why not?
That's so amazing. So what percentage of your time is spent, do you do theater versus film?
For me, I've done a lot more theater than I ever did, like motion pictures. And I think it's because I have the opportunity to do it. I've written a few plays for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And, just have time, and it's great exercise as an actor to be able to just be on stage. And I wish I could do more. I think when I was raising my daughter, I just kind of opted out, because you do have to commit to, every night of the week, and all of the weekends you're gone. And I just didn't want to do that. And now that I have other obligations, I really don't like being away from home. I got married, and it's like, I don't want to be every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the theater right now. But I love theater. I think theater is the best training, because not only do you have weeks and weeks to delve into, creating and portraying a character, but you have to have the discipline of being in the moment, and it's live, and whatever happens. So, but feature films and stuff like that is it's a great way to make your mark, and but it's also, there aren't that many roles, and you have to earn them. So
yes, and I heard you mention script writing. Are you doing that currently now? What kind of scripts do you tend to write?
Well, I wrote I've written a couple of quirky little stage plays. I wrote a one-woman show for myself, and then I wrote another play that I haven't put up in about a year, but it was up for a while. It was called The ABW Complex, and it was kind of playing on that whole angry Black woman saying, and it doesn't perpetuate it, but it was a sci-fi look at what people perceive as the angry Black woman. So it was a comedy, and it kind of explained, like, this is what happens when a Black woman gets to the end of her rope. And so it was very satirical. Yeah, it's like, you want to see some out of otherworldly energy, just let a lady, you keep doing this and we don't play. But it got the exact response that I prayed that it would. A lot of people kind of, when you say those words, angry Black woman, they think it's going to be one thing, but it definitely wasn't. So I like to write stuff like that. I've written a few short. Yeah, and that one I really want to bring back. It actually would lend itself to being like a short film. So hopefully we'll get to produce that one as well.
Yes, I could see you with someone like, give me some producers that I know.
There's so many, and that's what's wonderful about the industry and the whole push for diversity. There's a lot of opportunities for people of color to go where we've never gone before. So it's a good time.
It is a good time. I want to ask you this question. and maybe we can meet Etta Mae. Etta Mae is a very coveted persona of yours. And where are give me the origins of Etta Mae. Where did she come from?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. And she actually, what happened with Etta Mae was I went to New York to do a show off Broadway, and it closed way earlier than it was supposed to. And I found myself back in LA with, I had left my job, and I think I had packed up my apartment, and so I really needed work. And so I went on a couple of big auditions that didn't amount to anything. And I just had that moment where I was like, this person, this, casting, situation where I needed somebody to say, you got the gig. I didn't get it. And I was like, that's a lot of, I'm dependent on somebody else to let me do what I need to do or want to do. So then I wrote a one-woman show that, number one, was to help me get out of this massive depression that I was going through, because that's a real thing. And also to keep, to kind of express what happens. And so I wrote this show where I played all these characters, like Karen, trying to, as an African-American actress, a lot of times you get, you got to be more street, you got to be more hood, you got to give all this. And I was like, I don't, I know how to do that, but I don't always want to do that. So there was that part of it. And then there was the, what am I doing wrong? And then there's the keep going and encouraging yourself. And at the end, I wanted to present an African-American woman that was going to talk to Karen, the actress, and say, disappointment is not failure. As you say, stay in the game, keep going, encourage yourself. And at that time, people say, oh, you look kind of like Ruby Dee, and I was like, well, I look like her, but I don't know how to impersonate her. Aside from saying, hey, I'm Ruby Dee and look at me. And so I didn't want to do a bad impersonation of like Ruby Dee or Lena Horne or, somebody talking to Karen. So I was actually watching this documentary. It was called Bubbling Brown Sugar, African-American Women in Entertainment from the 1920s to, I think it went up to the 80s. And they had everybody. They had Josephine Baker, they had Billie Holiday, they had Moms Mabley, they had all these great women. And they had some interviews, but then they also had these interviews of these women that you never heard of, but who were there. Like a woman who said, I used to dance with Josephine Baker, and she was at one end of the chorus line and I was at the other. No, she was clowning, and girl, you should have seen. And this woman just went on and on about Josephine Baker and how she was there and how she, helped her out with it. And yet I couldn't tell you her name, but I said, I want to be that lady, the lady who has all the stories. And so that's where Etta Mae came from. Etta Mae is like, oh, I was, Sammy Davis Jr. was a friend of mine, and, all these people tell all these stories about how, oh, you don't know, but, Ella Fitzgerald used to want to sing gospel, but I told her, you need to scat around with it and sing some jazz, honey. And the rest is history. So that's where Etta Mae became.
I love her.
So she has all these stories, which are not necessarily fact-checking, but they're entertaining, and she's encouraging because she tells people, keep going, don't ever look back, and the rest is history. So
you're adorable in that role. You're so adorable. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to talk to the audience for a little while you do your transformation, or actually bring her on. Maybe she's another person totally.
We have to keep it. I will go and find her. She might be watching, Family Feud or something like that. But just give me the signal when you're ready, and I'll let you know when she's.
Okay, I'll put my finger up like this. Oh, wait, like this or something.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
So we're going to be blessed in a few minutes. Let me tell you how I met Etta Mae. I met Etta Mae because I had a networking event, and I wanted to put together a networking event that was different from your typical networking event. And then we're zoomed out. We're doing this networking. So for Christmas, I thought we'd hold a Christmas/networking party. So what we ended up doing was playing Christmas games that were hilarious. We promoted our wares during this meeting, and we had a little entertainment. Etta Mae Mumphries came, and she had us rolling in this networking meeting. And so this is where I first met her. And Boy, I fell in love with her. Intend to definitely have her be a part of whatever we do. And so I would like, if she's available, to bring her back on so she can delight your Friday. You're going to have a delightful Friday once you encounter Etta
I'm,
Mae Mumphries.
I'm going to be there in just 1 minute, sweetheart.
Okay,
Can
she coming in. She coming in 1 minute.
you? I just get myself together. I don't want to come out there looking like nothing. And
I totally understand. I had to, stay in front of the mirror myself, put on a little lipstick, you know, so I don't scare anybody. I totally get that.
well, that's okay. You know, we got to, as young ladies, we got to do what we can and let the Lord take care of the rest. Oh, wait a minute. Am I?
Amen.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get myself together for you here, Miss Rosalind. I appreciate you and everything that you do and keeping people on the right track with everything that they have to do. Am I on? Let me see. Am I on? Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
you are, and you're wearing my favorite lilac.
Oh, am I? This is your color. This is the suit. I told folks you like it. I hate to do a repeat. You know, when we was young, we say I ain't wearing any repeat, but I'm trying to do a GoFundMe. I know you know about raising money and all that. Folks know. I was like, you want me to change it up? You got to contribute to the cause.
Amen. Amen. Well, you look gorgeous. You look like you're very put together. Where are you on your way to? You going somewhere or?
Oh, no, I wear this all the time because, I like to be ready if I'm going to drop into the church, if I'm going to drop in on the stage. A lot of folks don't know I've been in show business for a long time. I tell folks that, did you see that movie, Straight Outta Compton, about the
Yeah.
young fella? Yeah, that was very, very entertaining. And, well, I'm not going to lie to you people. I wasn't in that one. But I tell you this, when everything opens back up and we start filming again, I'm going to be in the sequel of Straight Outta Compton. It's called Straight Outta Kaiser. And it's a sequel and it's a cliffhanger. Don't know how you're going to come out. But I never know when I might have to show up for something. So I try to wear my suit. People know it's me. So no impersonations.
So when you're looking at TV, when you're cleaning up, when you're going grocery shopping, you look like that. You're in your hat, in your beautiful suit.
Yes, indeed. It's you got to find what works and stick with it. I know you tell folks how to get their lives together with certain habits, right? So my
Yes.
habit is I got my glasses on and I put on my hat. This hat is I don't it's a summertime hat, so I got to switch it up now that it's well, oh my goodness, February. I almost missed the call, but but no, I try to look nice. I feel good every day. Every day I feel blessed and highly favored. If I was some of that pot roast I got on the stove right now, blessed and highly flavored. It's good. It's gonna be very good. But I try to spruce up a little bit, and I have a few other little change of pace outfits, but this is my favorite. So
Oh, I love it. Well, you know what I love best? I love hearing you've been around. Etta Mae, you've been around with the greats, with the best representatives of the African American all communities.
is it?
And so I like listening to your stories. Who have you
Oh,
been talking to who have you been talking to lately?
who have I been talking to? Well, I miss my friend Cicely Tyson. She was very good, and I told her, you just keep on every picture. You don't take every picture you want to be in. You got a reputation because people want to see you in the good stuff. So she was very selective, and I love her for that. But who else I've been talking to? I've been talking to, the former president Barack Obama. He's a friend of mine, and a lot of people don't know this, but one time my nephew took me on a trip to Honolulu, Hawaii, and I went out there. We was in Waikiki, and there was a young fella behind the counter at the Baskin Robbins. He worked at Baskin Robbins, and he said hello, and I said, he said, "What do you want? One scoop or two?" And I said, "Take one." And I said, "What is your name?" And he said, "It's Barack, but everybody calls me Barry." And I said, "Well, Barry," I said, "you know what? You need to stick to Barack, and you could don't change it up. And I hope you can do it." I said, "I hope, and you can do it." And You don't change your mind. I said, hope and change. And next thing you know, he didn't change it. He became Barack and he brought us some hope, and the rest is history. So
And the rest is history.
that's right. That's my encounter with
Well,
that.
have you visited the White House? I mean, you met him before. Have you been able
No.
to drop in?
Well, I gave him a call. I might have missed, where's my phone here? I had my telephone. I don't have a fancy phone. I have this phone. So I called the number and I left the number on the White House switchboard. I told him, I said, Barry, you remember me from Waikiki? Barack, honey, call me. And he might have left me a message. Maybe I didn't get it on this phone because the answer machine sometimes runs out of tape. But I try to stay on up to date on other things. But there's a lot of young folks that I stay in touch with, Drake. That young fella Drake, he said, you can call me on my cell phone. So I called him too, but I don't know if he got the message. But I know a lot of history, a lot of folks from way back, and
Yes.
it's black history month. I don't know, is it black, African, American, Negro?
I know. I select black.
Do you? I think we can call it, at least for February, we can be Black History, and we go back to African American. I don't know. We change it up all the time. I've been everything in my life, and I told folks when we got to the new millennium, I thought we was gonna call ourselves Mahogany People of the Sun or something. And then young folks, they say Wakanda forever. I don't even know how to get there, but I can do this. But we all God's children, black, white, and everything in between. So it's all good. And that
It absolutely is. I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I wanted to ask you, how did you fare during COVID? How are you faring? And let me know. Let me know what we need to be doing for COVID.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you got to keep living. I tell you, I thank God every time I'm on this side of the ground, it's a good day. We're all in this together, because this pandemonium is terrible. It's no joke. So I try to keep my sense of humor, but it's no joke. And but I take my vitamins. I got my Geritol going. I got my apple cider vinegar. I keep a with the turmeric stuff, and you take your vitamins, eat well, sleep well, get in touch with the good Lord, because He knows all about it. I even got this little critter here. She keeps me happy. See, she's just messing around. This is Jackie Brown.
Cutie pie.
Hello. Yeah, you gotta kind of keep your spirits up. I tell folks, you got to keep your head up so you can let your hair down. That's what I say. So just keep on. Don't get down in the dumps, and just keep praying and be smart. Wear the mask, get the shot. I tell everybody, they ain't playing no tricks right now. Ain't nobody fooling around. You can go ahead and do that and stay safe. I ain't been nowhere. I really ain't been out of this house since February last year. But get my food delivered and I stay safe. So how about you? You taking good care, right?
I am. I've been out of the house a little bit more than a year, but staying safe, looking forward to the vaccine. It's like you're taking a ticket, waiting in line for your turn for the vaccine. And I'm 60, so I'm up fairly soon. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah, we just got to we've been holding on. It's like I say, just keep on living. Don't ever look back, and the rest will be history. I tell you, I go to my doctor and I told him, don't get up, don't get down. He get on the camera and tell me I got to do this and that. I said, I was feeling pretty good before I saw you. You trying to make me sick. And I said, you check my blood type. Even my blood type is B positive. So ain't nothing going to bring me down.
Oh, love it. I love it. Now, I just want to know, Etta, where can we find you? How do we get in touch with you? You're so positive. You're so energizing. I want to stay connected.
I love seeing you on the Facebook. I'm on Facebook. It's called It's Etta Mae Mumphries. If you want to just but you can be my friend on Facebook, Etta Mae Mumphries. And please, I need some more followers on Instagram. I'm almost over the edge. So if you're on Instagram, you can be friends with Etta Mae TV, ETTAMAE TV. I'm on the gram. I'm a Grammy on the gram. And And then I got some stuff going on TikTok too. I love it's real quick on TikTok. Tick. And I haven't figured it out real good, but we got some friends, me and my lady friends on the stay-at-home choir. We be on TikTok every now and then. So join us on TikTok, Etta Mae TV. And then if you want to just get on YouTube, I got all kinds of videos. They go way back. And you seen those. I put them up sometimes on Facebook, but if you want to just go on the channel, it's Etta Mae TV, MAE TV on YouTube. If you subscribe, we put them up every couple of weeks and it's free. You don't have to pay nothing on YouTube yet. So you can check us out, and every video on there try to have a positive message and make people just get up and feel good about themselves. Because, if you don't feel good about yourself, can nobody else do it for you.
So true. And, every time I'm in contact with you, I just get a boost of motivation. You just make my day.
That's my job. I try to do my, because I tell folks in the supermarket of life, I'm in the checkout lane. So I'm trying to let as many people get in front of me and trying to do my best to put it. And the Bible says we got to press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us that. Keep going, press. And I just say make it easy. Make like Lee nails and press on. Keep on.
Amen. And with that, I want to thank you for being here, Etta Mae, and for sharing with us. We got a real good glimpse into what it means to be an actress, and to be, especially with the longevity that you've had in the entertainment industry. My hat goes off to you.
My head too. I put my head. I can't take it off because my head my wig pressed down too much. But I love being in touch with you. I thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. And until next time, everyone, peace and blessings. Bye-bye for now.